Okay, it's Black Hollywood. So I'm curious, man. What's the importance of mentors in this industry?
I think mentors are important in life in general, no matter what you're trying to do. But in this industry, you gotta make sure you find the right mentor. You gotta. I think You told it to me best. You gotta be around people who you want to be like, who you would want to trade places with. You know, so you gotta have a mentor who is someone where you want to be in life, deeper than just your acting teacher, or your acting teacher can be your mentor. But believe it or not, the biggest mentor in my life doesn't come from acting. It came from high school. When I was in high school, I had, I was really, I didn't struggle in school, but I had some struggles my freshman year. And I really had this teacher. She guided me through all, I had the same teacher for 4 years.
Okay.
And technically there's two of them, but they both guided me through high school and stayed on me about my grades, my college applications, wrote letters of recommendations, gave me great life advice. It just guided me in general. And those two had the most significant impact on me as far as in my high school years. And in my 8th grade year, I've I always told everyone this. There's only two people I've ever been afraid of in my entire life.
Yeah.
My mom, who's obviously a big mentor because she's my mom, and my 8th grade teacher. She was terrifying.
Oh wow.
Dude, and she turned out to be a great mentor for me my 8th grade year because she set the foundation of how important it is that education is. And because in 8th grade I was failing, dude. I was doing terrible. And my mom came down on me, but this teacher came down on me harder, dude. She made me drop all. I had to see her every day. She switched around my class schedule so I could be with teachers who would stay on me. She rocked everything for me.
Right.
And there was a point where I hated her, dude, because she was always yelling at me, scolding me, saying I'm doing this wrong and everything. But dude, she helped me.
Wow.
My second semester of 8th grade year, I did phenomenal.
Wow.
I did really, really well. And that's because she was like, I had a mom at home.
Yeah.
And I had a mom at school. I could be in another class and she'll always check in with these teachers, making sure that I'm doing well.
Right.
She was kind of like the mentor that I didn't want but needed.
Yeah.
You know? So she kind of came out of nowhere. And believe it or not, that discipline and those and school and study habits that she created for me in 8th grade when I was 14 years old carried over in high school.
Oh wow.
Carried over in college.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, part of the reason why I'm so disciplined in everything and my habits and everything and what I do is because not just my mom, but this 8th grade teacher was on me like glue. And that made me realize, dude, that for one, teachers are underpaid. And for two, that made me realize how much your teachers have an impact on you, whether you have a good teacher or a bad teacher. I was very blessed that I had this teacher who cared so much about my education. Right. About my future,
right?
That she threatened, and I think she was lying when she did this. But you know, me being 14 years old and she being this like she's 40 years old. She says, "I will hold you back a year if you don't get your ish together."
Yeah,
like you will be in 8th grade for another year if you don't. And that terrified me, dude.
I must ask this: was she black?
No.
No. Okay.
No, and she was white.
Okay.
She was white.
Yeah, she's on top of you though. That's good.
Oh yeah, dude. She was like Batman. She knew everything. She knew what I was doing. She knew that if I didn't turn in a single homework assignment, she would know about my test coming up and saying, "Why did you bring in the study materials to study during our time together?" And everything, dude. She was on me like glue. And luckily, in high school, I had teachers who were like. I had those two mentors that I taught about in high school. They were like her, but they were a lot more chill. Right. You know what I mean? They taught me. I was with them for 4 years, so they taught me about life and everything. And but that teacher in 8th grade, she set the tone for the rest of my education, bro, and the rest of my life in general with discipline and habits and just everything, dude. Because, like I said, I had a mom at home and I had a mom at school. And even though I only had that mom at school for a year,
yeah.
That 1 year had a huge impact on me, dude. So mentors are important.
Right.
And The reason why mentors are important because they can help guide you where you need to go. There's a difference between being an advisor and being a mentor. An advisor is someone who gives you advice. You know what I mean? And we all know how we feel about advice. It's just other people projecting their life choices onto you. You can take it or leave it. But with mentors, they truly try to guide you and try to steer you away from the pitfalls that they went through. You know? And I feel like there's a difference between an advisor and a mentor. But I don't know. How do you feel about mentors, man?
Yeah, I've had actually few mentor. You know, actually, I've had great mentors. I'm trying to think. For me, I had mentors in life. I think that there's more so when I got into the professional acting. I got more mentors. I had mentors like Sharon Fitzinger, which is our agent back in St. Louis, and you know, she told me things not to do before coming out to LA. She told me that you do not want to go out to LA without representation. You do not want to do this. You do not want to do that. And hers was more lighthearted and comedic. Anyone who knows her, she's very comedic. And then she told me, you know, reach out to these people. They want to meet you anyways. Do this and do that. Then when I got out here, I got into the hands of Jen Boyce, which is my first agent out here, Jennifer Boyce, and she introduced me to her team. And the biggest part was her word was gospel, because she's going to put me on with everybody else. And so I think I told the story before when I was about to take a commercial that I shouldn't have, whether she remembers this or not. Is this Adidas ad? It was me and Spencer. Spencer is also part. Spencer took it. Anyways, one of my friends in Creed, me and both about to take this Adidas ad, and I was told not to take it due to them being sketchy about the contract. And my rep told me, she said, okay, if you need an excuse to get out of it, just tell them, if I take this role, my agent will drop me. And so that was her. No, that's probably the hardest she went, but that was her. She was on me in the sense of, you know, what classes to sign up to, who to meet, what hands to shake. She introduced me to my manager, introduced me to my theatrical agent, introduced me to everybody. And they just don't have to do that. You know, reps don't have to do that. They have to really see something in you, they have to really take a liking to you, and they have to really I hate to say this, mentorship is kind of like being a mentor and a mentee. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, being a mentee, a mentor kind of has to take ownership in you. Mm-hmm. And I know people feel different ways about that word, but for most men, we don't really care. But yeah, they have to take a sense of ownership in you.
If they're not doing that, like I said, they're just an advisor.
They're just an advisor. And so for her, you know, I speak limited about, you know, her position on that, but from her, she took, you know, ownership of me in the sense of, okay, I'm the one who encouraged them to make the step out here to LA, and so now I'm going to make sure to put them on with the right people, or at least they can meet the right people. If that doesn't work, we can meet some more people, and we'll get this thing going. And the irony of all that was, I booked for everybody, and she was the last one I booked for. And so all the people she put me on with, I was making the money immediately out of the gate. And I think I finally came around to making her some money, but, you know, due to other circumstances, I primarily got everyone else paid. And that's what happens when you're the right person. You put people in a good position without asking for anything in return. And obviously, like, you know, when I get my big check, we already know who it's going to, because you can hear I speak about her differently than the rest of the team. Yeah. Even though I love my whole team greatly, it all started with this one woman. So that was a mentorship scenario, Sharon Fitzinger, and then down to Jennifer Boyce. And then from there, it's all, you know, the rest is going to be history in due time. Or I'm very happy with how much I've traveled so far. But yeah, I'm still going. So it's an ongoing story.
That's good, man. And I definitely want to stress the importance that a lot of people aren't blessed enough to find mentors. Mm-hmm. I think we also, like I said, we confuse mentors with advisors. A lot of people think they have a mentor, but they just have an advisor. And
yeah, let's go through that one more time, because I know we have it before, but the difference between mentor and advisor from your point of view, one more time.
In my point of view, an advisor is someone like, see, I want to bring up this movie, but I know you haven't seen it, but maybe other people have seen it. In The Godfather, there's the Godfather, and there's a position called the consigliere or something like that. And the consigliere gives advice to the Godfather. Even though the Godfather is the head honcho, the head position, the consigliere is someone who gives advice to the Godfather on how to move, how setting up meetings, all that stuff. You know, if there's a situation, this person gives the Godfather advice.
Right.
You know what I mean? A mentor is someone who truly takes ownership in your development.
Right.
And of you, not of you as a person, but like I said, your development in whatever venture that you're both in, whether that be acting, rapping, or just in career in general. Even for my 9 to 5, I have a mentor. He guides me and tells me what to do. He sets up work days for me and him to work together in order to make me look good, and he tells me how I should move in the company. He gives me he doesn't advise me. He tells me like, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm telling you, it's gonna make you look good.
Right.
And that's what we care about. We want to make you look good so you can be promoted and yada yada yada. But and then even in acting, my acting teacher, he has been a mentor figure because he's a working actor, and he's been a working actor for a long time. So he has a lot of advice that I haven't heard from other acting teachers. You know, that's no disrespect to my other acting teachers. It's just different when you're actually working in TV and film. You know what I mean? But he's given me not just great acting advice, but life advice as well. You know, and just he cared so much about my own development as a person that he loaned me this iconic comic book, and it took me 2 months to read it, and I finally read it, and it definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things. But so I know that he cares more about just my acting. He cares about me as a person, and he cares about my development as a person, you know. But
yeah,
my bad. And basically, to answer your question, all in all, an advisor is someone who gives advice. You know what I mean? They give advice from their perspective. They're trying to project their life choices onto you. A mentor is someone who takes ownership in your development, who is truly knowledgeable in whatever field you guys are in, and someone who tries to guide you through the path of where you want to be without you falling into those same pitfalls and traps that person fell into.
Right. And the last thing I'll say is I've heard, I think Robert Kiyosaki was talking about this. He said that he loves playing golf, and he plays golf for free. He pays to play golf. He said, anything I don't have a mentor in, I pay to play. But he said when it comes to real estate, I have a mentor because I get paid to do this. So anything you want to get paid for, you need a mentor in. And that's one of the big things he was on. And it's true. So, you know, if you want to play golf, you want to keep it a hobby, then you don't need a mentor. If you want to be Tiger Woods, you need to pay for a mentor. You need to pay for a coach. So
Facts.
This is Black Hollywood, and you guys learn the difference between mentors and advisors. And the biggest thing is, find that North Star, find that mentor, so you can go ahead and you can excel past the competition. And you can get to your dream job, your dream role a little bit sooner.
Absolutely.
It's Black Hollywood.